Hey there, Cody Lee here. Has some thoughts wanted to share. It is healthy to allow yourself rest. We all know that. But there's a different kind of rest that I don't hear talked about very much. And that's removing yourself from groups, situations, and people sometimes for a season so you can recenter with yourself and discover whether or not what was happening or who you're with or what job you're at or these people you're around or the church you're going to or whatever it is actually in alignment with who you are. I have an example to share. I was in a conservative Christian church for 12 years, and this particular congregation was very small and very concerned about their way was the right way. And they had some very in the box thinking. Like women couldn't do certain things. You couldn't have instruments in the church. And I could go on and on. Lots of things that just made it really restrictive. And there was a lot of fear and judgmentalness, self-righteousness in that circle that I couldn't see that I was a part of until I stepped out of it. And I remember I had a dear friend from college talk to me about a group he was in a different town. We met up at a kind of a reunion of college buddies. And he said, "Hey, I have this Christian art group, and I think you should come." And so I thought, well, that's okay, that sounds amazing. And I was surprised that some of the people from the church I had been attending in my hometown were a little hesitant. Like they seemed cautioned. And that seemed strange to me. And we started meeting once a month with this group. I started removing myself a little bit from that congregation in my hometown that I'd been so associated with, that I started to see things differently. I started to notice some of the things that were talked about a lot weren't actually there. Like this warm camaraderie and love looked more like judgment, coldness, and separation, and a desire to be, well, different, I guess. A lot of shaming of other people that weren't like them. And I couldn't see it because I was a part of it. It's that whole, you can't see the forest for the trees. The thing I want to bring up is that if you are in a group, congregation, or relationship that does not allow for you to take space for yourself when you feel called to, when you feel genuinely this desire to rest alone or step away from this group and explore other things because something is calling you, something is telling you, you need to go talk to those people, you need to step away from them. There's something there that's happening that is making you feel that you know you're supposed to check out something that is out of your norm, out of the normal habits that you do. If you are receiving resistance, I would encourage you to sit with whether this is in a healthy environment that you are in. Because let's look at it this way. Genuine, true love or genuine, true connection won't be damaged by some space. A person should have the autonomy and the sovereignty to be allowed space to reconnect with themselves. If that space causes that person to choose to go elsewhere, then that is what was right for their path. That is what they needed to do for their own guidance. And that can be hurtful. However, you don't want someone to stay because they feel forced, to stay because they feel chained, because they feel trapped, they feel obligated. That's not love. That's not genuine connection. That's entrapment. It seems to me that some more conservative thinking church groups don't want you to read another book like the Quran. They don't want you to read the Kabbalion. They don't want you to go to a Buddhist temple. They don't want you to explore other religious ideas. They don't want you to go to other congregations, associate with other Christians, because you might leave them. You might find out this wasn't working for you. And a lot of them in genuineness feel that they're protecting you, because there's this fear-based control method that they use to tell you that the world is trying to trick you. The devil is out there, prowling like a roaring lion, seeking whom he can devour. And that the devil can disguise himself as an angel of light. And they love to use that verse to keep you afraid to look outside of the little bubble that they've got you in, or the little bubble you're in. They love to use those types of scriptures to keep you from listening. Now, you may be thinking, Cody, we can be led astray. We can be led by something that's evil. Let me tell you something. If someone needs to go explore another aspect of themselves, they feel led, they feel called. You don't know what they're here to learn. You don't know why their soul is calling them towards something, or why they feel tempted by something. Let them go figure it out, because it's something that they're going to learn, and they're going to learn and actually change and evolve more likely by experiencing it than by having you keeping them trapped in a box and telling them that if they think about anything other than what you're telling them to think about, you're going to go to hell. Don't allow anyone to keep you from going towards what your heart or what you feel your soul is calling you towards. Even if it takes you out of your comfort zone and takes you away from people and it makes those people uncomfortable. You've got to do what feels right for you. When I felt called to leave that congregation, I was told I was following the devil. We were shamed. I got sat down by a couple from that church who was higher ups and just berated passive aggressively about leaving. I got basically ostracized by people in my actual blood family who went there. They were the ones that told me I was following the devil, by the way. All because I was following what felt right for me and what I felt called to do is truth. And it was hard. They saw the tears in my eyes. They saw that this was challenging for me. And they cried with me, but not because they believed I was doing the right thing. No, they cried because I think they thought I was being corrupted. They thought they were losing me to the evil one. Now, in that same sense, I had several people kind of in the Me Too type of thinking and circle come forward and say to me, I'm so proud of you for stepping out of this group. I've wanted to for years. I'm just not brave enough. Or I've wanted to, but my whole family is here and I don't want to lose my family. And I was really stunned at some of those that came forward to me and said, you were brave enough to do what I couldn't do. And I'm proud of you. That was so validating and helpful at the time. And I think a lot of those that talked to me then, they finally did too. And I hope maybe part of what we did was an example to them to follow what's right for them and not let others dictate how they believe, what they do, and where they go. But I do want you to question, if you feel called in your heart to explore something different, a different belief system, a different place, a different church, a different group, if you feel called to pick up a book that you think others around you would shame you for, don't let other people dictate your life. Don't let other people make those decisions for you. They do not know what's best for you. You do. It's your life. This is your journey. And if they truly love you, they will still let you follow what you feel is right for you. And lovingly be there to either help you through what comes next or be happy for you when you find what aligns with you. It's all about alignment. And you're trying to align with what's right for you. And those little nudges, those little books, those little invites, sometimes we get to a different group or a different church or different thinking. are sometimes the breadcrumbs to guide us to that next step in our lives. And the more in tune you are with yourself, the more you know yourself, the more you know what's truth for you and how to hear that still small voice within inside you calling, make that your priority if you struggle with that, to learn that, because the rest of your life and your journeys and finding your alignment depends on it. The more you follow that and hear that and go towards it, the more in alignment you're going to be with what's right for you. But I want to encourage you not to let anyone keep you in a box. Don't let yourself keep yourself in a box. If you feel in your heart you're being called, move towards it. It's all going to work out okay. The next step will be clear. And I'm not here to tell you how to believe and whether you believe in Christianity or what. That's not what this is about. I'm here to tell you to follow what calls you. Any groups or any people that try to shame you, control you, or keep you from doing that, question that. Because they don't know what's right for you, you do. I hope this was helpful. If you've had an experience where you were called and you answered and it was difficult, you had to step out of a situation that made other people unhappy, tell me about it. Share it in the comments. Like and subscribe. Let's keep this conversation going.